Hi, today I am going to discuss the common errors in compliance of the Companies Act in private limited companies basically. Private limited companies, as we all know, are basically family companies. So, some of the common errors happen which are either ignored or not taken care of. I am going to discuss those common errors which are generally in the practice of compliance. Number one, holding the board meeting beyond 120 days. As per the Companies Act, we all know we have to hold at least 4 board meetings in a calendar year. And now it's financial year. In a financial year, there should be 4 board meetings. And there is one more condition that not more than 120 days should be there between 2 board meetings. Basically, the gap should not be more than 122 days. Normally, we fail to consider this, and the board meetings are shown with a gap of more than 120 days, which is an error or non-compliance of the Companies Act. Secondly, it is in the signing of the minutes and on. Normally, in a family-owned companies, the minutes are never made or made in case some compliance is required, or made at one go. Like all the minutes for the last 5 years, 1 year are made at one go and given to the chairperson for signing. Now, it is obvious that if a person signs, he normally fails to change the pen or flow of the signature. Normally, if it is signed in the normal go within the due date, then the pen color and signing flow is different. But when it is given at one go to sign, it will remain the same. So, it is a proof that the minutes were never maintained or board meeting never happened, and they were signed just for the sake of compliance. We should avoid this, and the minutes should be made and signed within the 30 days or whatever period is there of the board meeting, and the board meeting should also be held. Now, coming to the quorum and for the board meeting, normally the company failed to ascertain whether the directors were there at the same city or not, or when they show a board meeting on paper showing that both are present at a particular address, while in fact that director was not there in the city or not even in the country. This should be kept in mind. Then giving a leave of absence for the entire year for a director. As per the Companies Act, the board, every director should attend at least one board meeting in a financial year. We fail to consider this and we show leave of absence throughout the year. It was there in the previous Companies Act, which was allowed. Directors can be a director and he may not be present in the board meeting with the leave of absence for his entire life. But now this is not the consider. If a director doesn't appear in a board meeting at least once in a year, then it is deemed that he has vacated the office, and this results in a non-compliance. Now, coming to the AGM. There are two while considering the due dates, we have to consider two things. One, the AGM should be held within 6 months from the close of the financial year. That is, if the financial year closes on 31st of March, then the AGM would be held latest by 30th of September of that year. However, there is one more compliance that not more than 15 months gap should be there between the two annual general meetings. So, while fixing the date for the AGM, we have to consider both the things, else we will result in a non-compliance. Now, coming to the appointment of CS, as we all know, there should be a company secretary. The criteria is when the paid up capital of the company is more than 10 CR or more. Most of the family owned company fail to consider this, and they do not appoint the company secretary even if the paid up share capital increases 10 CR or more. Now, coming to the share certificates, in most of the family owned company, the share certificates are never issued, and once even if issued, they are not issued within the time, or not adequately signed, or not adequately stamped. There are three things while issuing the certificates. We have to consider the things. The share certificate should be issued within 60 days from the date of allotment or issue of the shares. The share certificate should be signed by at least 3 persons, 2 directors and 1 person authorized by the board of directors or the committee of the board. And the share certificate should be stamped under the Stamped Act. we see that the companies fail to stamp the share certificate, which is a non-compliance. Now, there is a provision for donation. A company can give a donation to for any legitimate purpose to any entity, but there is a condition. A company cannot give more than 5% of their average net profit of the last 3 years. In case it is more than 5% of the average net profit for the last 3 years, it has to get an approval, which is by ordinary resolution, and has to file the MGT 14, which most of the companies fail to consider. Now, coming to the other things, some of the compliances were introduced by the Companies Act 2013. The letterhead should have the SIN number of the company, proper address of the company, phone number, and also the website, email if they have. The company failed to mention all these things in the letterhead, which is an offence. These are the some of the compliances, some of the common errors which we should consider while preparing the statutory auditor. And while we prepare the minutes, we have to mention the start time and the finish time, which is a good secretarial practice, and also it is there in the secretarial standard. So, we should consider some these facts while preparing the minutes, and the best way is to prepare it within time. We should not delay it or keep it for another time. We should do the compliance side by side, so that our books are maintained. There is no non-compliance, and because non-compliance is very costly nowadays. These were the main points. Hope I am able to help you a bit. You would be consider all the things. Thank you very much.